Hi everyone, we are back again with another session of Python programming. So, today we will be doing another data structure that is dictionaries. So, yesterday we did lists in Python and we'll be doing dictionaries today. So, before I start, hi Deepak, how are you?
Hi, Anjali, I'm fine. How are you?
So, how's your concept about lists?
Yeah, much clear that if we have to enter a set of values, we can store it somewhere in Python. So we can use the list function to predefined values to be entered and
Right.
store it somewhere.
Yeah. So yesterday when we stopped, we I gave you a program where you had to input names of 5 students, and then you had to take marks of 5 students as well, and finally you had to print the student who has got the highest marks. So did you think over it?
Yes, this can be done by making two lists
Mm-hmm.
and linking them together. So first list is the name of the students, and the second list is the number for each of the student. Then we link it that position of first list
Yeah.
uh, corresponds to the marks with the second list,
Okay.
and then we find the maximum marks in the second list, and then we bring onto the screen the output that the person, the marks of the highest mark
Right.
belong to this student.
Okay. So for that means you need to take two lists, one for the names and one for the marks. So you're going to take two lists, and let's say you have to input details about 5 students from the user. So if you have to take for 5 students from the user, I can have a loop direct which can work for your range 5. So that means it should work for 5 times. Okay. So this loop will work for 5 times. So we are going to ask for the name and the mark. So I just take name here and I write input, enter name of the student. So we ask for the name of the student and we ask for the marks. So name is a string, so we can directly read it. And for mark, I'm writing like if you want the marks to be in points, you can use float.
Many times we use float, but we get the integer number in multiple decimal point, like 10 decimal. We only want it to.
Then we can use
Decimal point.
round function. There is a function called round. We can use that while displaying. So that would help you to reduce the number of decimal
We
places.
should use it going forward. That function.
Yeah. So now we are going to add this name to the names list. So I write names dot append name, and to the marks list we are going to append the mark which we have entered for the user. So now
What would this function do?
append is going to add the element at the end of the list. So whatever new name you take, you add it to the list. Whatever new marks you take, you add it to the list. If you want to print after this, if I want to show like print student R, and one option is I can print this way, like I can just write print names and then I just print marks. Now if I execute this much, obviously it won't be a well formatted output because I'm just printing the list as it is. So if I print this much, so this is your output window here. It'll ask for name of the student. I enter like Ankit 90. I enter Payal 45. I enter Karan 78. Then I enter Pulkit 95. And then say Charu 67, something like that. So when I enter the 5 details, I get it like this. Students are, I get the list where I'm getting the names, I get the list where I'm getting the marks. But I want that it should not show the name and marks like this. It should show like Ankit scores 90, Payal scores 45, Karan scores 78. If you want something like that to be displayed. So for that, as I told you, we can use loops for showing the values. So instead of printing it like this, I can have like again for A in range 5, So that will work again from 0 to 4, like A will be 0 first, then 1, then 2, then 3, and so on. And that is also the position in the array. So I want to print like names A, that would be the name. And then I want to write scores. And then I want to show the marks at the same position. So it will show like names 0, scores, marks 0. So the first name and the first marks. Then it shows like name 1, scores, marks 1. So the second student is shown, then third and fourth and fifth. So now if we execute this code, it's going to ask me name of the student. So I'll be entering like again whatever students you have to enter. So enter some data like this, but the output now looks like this. So it's up to you, how do you want to show it. But my question was that you have to show only that student who scores the highest. So if you have to show the student who scores the highest, so what should we do? We should get the highest marks first. So which function is used to get the highest marks? Max. So we use max to get the highest marks. So we are going to write here highest is equal to max of marks. So we have got maximum marks, and assuming that all students have different marks, I can find out the position, or I can only show those students who have got the highest marks. So I can do one more thing, that I can take this condition, not this condition, the statement above the for loop here, students with highest marks are. There could be multiple students who have got the highest marks, so we can write it like this. So you get the maximum marks, and here rather than directly printing it, I can put a condition. I can put a condition that if highest is equal to marks A, that means if that student's marks is equal to the highest marks, then only it should be displayed, otherwise not. So now if I'm going to run this code, it will obviously ask me again the name, so I have to input it again. So I enter like Aman 89, then 67, Arjun has again got 89, then we have like 56, so no, 77, right? So if I enter this, two of them have got the same highest marks, so it prints both of them, that Aman scores 89 and Arjun scores 89. So this could be done like this, okay? But the main thing which you noticed over here is that to relate the name and marks, I have to use the same position. I had to remember, I had to make sure that in my program, if I have name at position 0, I should have the corresponding marks at position 0. If name is at 1, then corresponding marks should be at 1. So we are matching the positions, right? But in case you have such kind of values where you have to fetch one value on the basis of other. For example, here I have to fetch marks on the basis of name. Same way, if you have to fetch the capital on the basis of country name, or you have to fetch the population on the basis of city name, something like that. So where I have a value related with another value, there we prefer using dictionaries instead of list. And that is the new data structure which we have to do in Python. So the new data structure we have to do today is dictionaries. So in dictionaries, what happens is that we have a key and we have a value for that. Like for a student name, you're going to hold marks. For a country, you're going to have capital. For a position, you're going to have a value like that. I'm going to do the same code with the help of dictionary now. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to modify this, rather I'll just copy this code. So I'll copy the whole thing, save it here. I make a new file. So we make a new Python file, and this is like dictionary result, and I paste it here. Now what change I'll make? Like you have done the square bracket thing, which is used to create an empty list. So here I'm just going to write students is equal to, either you can write empty curly bracket, like we use square bracket for list, we use curly bracket for a dictionary, right? Or you can also write the word dic. So both ways I'm telling that I want to create a blank dictionary. Now if I had to create a dictionary, like a static dictionary rather than inputting the values from the user, we would have created it this way. Students is equal to, and then I'll write name like Anil colon marks. Then I write another name, say Parul colon marks. So that's how we create dictionary. This is one set of values where you have key colon value. So the first value is said to be the key for the entry, and the second is called as value. Then again, this Parul is the key and the other one is the value. So it's a key and value combination, right? So we do it like this. But I have taken it blank initially. If you don't want to take it blank, let's say I have these 2 students for sure, I want to add 5 more. So there would be total of 7 students, where 2 are these and I can add 5 more. Now what do I do? How do I add 5 more? So I'm not going to use it this way. Rather, I'll be writing students, that's your name of the dictionary, and inside this, the key is what? Name, and the value is the marks. So what I write, student's name is equal to mark, right? Or we have a function called update. You can use that also. So any of the two can be used. So we can write students dot update. So in update I have to give name colon mark. So I can write that, or I can write the simpler form, which is just write the name of the dictionary. In square bracket you have to write the key is equal to the value. So this would be added to the dictionary. Right now, since this would be added to the dictionary, I am just printing the students now rather than printing the highest marks and all. So if I just want to show the students, so students with marks are, rather than printing highest marks are, and I am going to print the dictionary. So if I do this and I'm going to run this program, which is your dictionary result. So enter the name of the student. Again, I have to input. So we enter like this and you can see the dictionary here. So I'm getting the first 2 students fixed and then the 5 which I entered. So I'm having the 7 students over here with their marks, right? Now, if you want to find the same thing, you want to find the highest marks and show that. So if you want to work that way, you can still get the highest, and that highest we can get with the help of the function max. But in max, what are you going to write? You can't write only students because that's a dictionary. So you need to write student.values. So we have student.values, which will give me all the values. If I use keys, I'll get all the keys. Keys is the left side and value is the right hand side. So I want to find the highest out of the values. So this will give me the highest marks. Now what I have to do? I have to print the name who has this highest marks. So I don't know how many values are there in the dictionary, but I can write for key in what is the name? Students dot keys. Like for all the keys possible, the loop will work for one key at a time. I'm going to check that if students key, that means for this particular name, the marks are equal to highest. If it is so, I should print. What should I print? Key, because key is the name. And then I should write scores. And then I should show the highest. Or I can also write student's key. It's one and the same thing because both are same. So you write either way, and now I don't want to input this again and again. So what I'm doing is I can make these
This from the two.
comment, and maybe we can take one more if you want. Okay, so there are 4 students. If I run this now, so we get Ajay scores 98. So these are your student, and this is the one with the highest marks. You can input from the user, that's totally up to you how many students you want. Accordingly, we can work with it. So this code looks more structured in comparison to the one which we did with the help of list. Because in list, manually we were managing the index that the name and marks should be at position 0. The another name and mark should be at position 1. But here they are stored as a combination. They are stored in this format that you have the name and the marks or something like that. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, I'll give you a simple one to try with for the first one. That is, you take any 5 countries and their capitals in the dictionary. So you don't have to input that from the user. Take it static. So create a dictionary which should have any 5 countries in it along with their capitals. Now you have to ask the user to enter a country name. So user will enter a country name and you're supposed to print the capital of that country. In case the country entered by user is not there in the dictionary, then your program should not show an error message. Rather, it should show a proper message that the country is not listed in the program. Right? Just go ahead, try to write it. So you have to create a dictionary first, having the country names and their capitals. So have country name and their capitals, and then ask the user to enter a country, and you have to show the capital entered for the country. How's it going, Deepak?
And,
Do you need a loop in this?
first we create a list.
You have created the list, that's fine. Then you have got the country name, that is also fine. So to print the capital of that, you just need to print it from the dictionary. So where you have written print enter country, it should be country square bracket enter country. So country is name of your dictionary.
What is it?
So if you have to fetch a value from the dictionary, you have to write name of the dictionary first. That is country.
Dictionary is this country.
Yeah. So you have to write country, and in the square brackets you have to write no, not this one. Print is a function that's going to have round brackets only.
Okay.
So it is like country is name of your dictionary. But what should you use as a key? You have to use the key as the country entered by the user.
Enter country.
So that is enter country, and then you can print the round bracket of the print, and we don't need the loop, because if I put this in the loop, it is going to ask me 3 times name of the country. So I have to enter 3 different names, and for each name it will show me the capital. So you can try running it, but it will work like that. So it will ask 3 times about a country name and will print the capital. If you want it only once, you don't need a loop, and you need to move the statements back, because indentation matters a lot in Python. So these statements are indented, they have to be moved back. Yeah, that's perfect. You can try executing it. Yeah. So it is done, but if you enter a country which is not there in the dictionary, then what happens? So it's working perfectly fine.
Key is giving an error.
Yeah, and I told you we should not get this error.
Uh,
So what should you do?
if country, the enter country is not equal, is not there in the list. Then
So
we will give a-
which operator we did to check if some value is there in the list or not? We did an operator yesterday which helps us to check if a value is in the list or not.
remember. Can't remember. Which one was that?
You have to write if enter country in. You don't have to write not equal to. We will use in. Yeah. So in country dot keys, because country dot keys has all the country names. So I'm checking if the entered country name, yeah, round brackets, and we have to give a colon now, and then here this statement needs to be tabbed. So if the given country name is within the keys, then it's all good. We need to print. Else you can write a print that information about this country is not available, something like that.
I will look at India.
Is it working? Dot keys.
Hmm?
Country dot keys.
Yeah.
S is also there. That's fine.
So what is the command for country keys? Country. What do we do here? The second part of the colon is keys. The first part of the colon is values. This one.
Sorry. First part is key and the second is values.
Okay.
So the left side is key and the right side is value. Yeah, so you're getting it.
Now you write.
So yeah, it's all good. Now try another program. Okay, I'll give you some to practice with. So as we have done this one, I hope all of you have understood the basic concept of dictionary. So dictionary is basically where we have a key and we have a corresponding value with it, right? Now I'm giving you a tricky question, and that question involves both dictionary as well as your list. Okay, what you have to do is you have to create a list of a few items. For example, say fruits. You have 10 fruits. That needs not to be the different fruits. Like I could have like apple, banana, apple, orange, apple, apple, banana, orange, orange, something like that. So the fruits can be repeated, but I have to take 10 names of the fruits, right? So your list should have 10 fruits in it where the values could be repeated. You have to print a frequency distribution table for that.
How many times they are appearing?
Yeah, so you have to tell how many different fruits are there and how many times each fruit is there in the list. For example, if there are only 3 different fruits and that is apple, orange, and banana, so your answer should be like apple, then how many times apple comes? Orange, how many times orange comes? Mango, banana, whatever it is. So you have to print a frequency table for the fruit name and the number that how many times that fruit name appeared in the list. So this program will use initially a list and your result should be a dictionary. So try out the code to get this result, and that is it for today's lesson. We'll see you tomorrow again with more programs on list and dictionary. So we'll first practice list and dictionaries more and then we'll start with any other topic after that. Right, Deepak?
Okay.
So in case any one of you watching has any doubt, do write in the comments below and we'll be taking your doubts in the next session. So that's it for today. See you tomorrow. Till then, keep watching, learn to code with Anjali. Thank you.